Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99, and did you know? Hallow's ends on! From Thursday, October the 18th, 2018 until the 1st of November 2018, Hallow's End will be the event ongoing inside Battle for Azeroth. Sadly, if you come to it after that, you'll have to wait until next year in order to be able to do it. But the location to come to get the quests for the Horde is in Undercity. This means that if you're in the new expansion, Battle for Azeroth, you'll have to speak to Zidormi just outside of the city in Tirisfal Glades in order to go to the instanced old version of Undercity. And if you come just inside the ruins, you'll find all the vendors right here. That is the exit there to Tirisfal Glades, and that's the entrance to the Undercity straight across there. And here you can see the Wicker Man burning, and you can see a few quests around. The blue ones are the daily quests. The yellow one is a once not repeatable quest.
A cleansing fire. Time is short. I'll soon retire.
And there you can hear the Headless Horseman shouting at you. If you go into the town itself, just outside of the city, you can have a couple of quests there as well to do daily. The Headless Horseman comes to attack some of the little towns near the capital cities, such as Brill. He sets fire to the buildings, and you can grab the quest here from the Orphan Matron to stop the fires. She'll give you pumpkins and lanterns that you can throw on people's heads. What you do is you grab a water bucket from the water barrels. You get an action bar in the bottom of your screen right here. Throw that at the fires. Keep doing that until you put all the fires out. Then the Headless Horseman, who's flying around town, there you can see him, he'll come down to the ground and you fight him, and he'll drop a pumpkin on the floor, which you can then pick up and turn in as a quest reward also to the matron. And that's a daily quest that you can do every day. Also, in the little towns around here, if you go into where the inns are, I get off my mount, inside you'll find candy buckets, and from those you get the handful of treats. I already picked one up earlier. Let's open that one. You can only have one in your inventory at a time, so if you've still got the old one, you have to open that before you can pick up the new one. Every candy bucket will give you some experience, or if you're at max level you'll get a little bit of money. It's an easy way to get a few experience points for your lower level characters if you run around and pick up all the candy buckets in all the towns. There are also achievements for picking up all the candy buckets in various areas. When you open these Hand of Treats bags, you get Tricky Treats, which is the currency to spend at the vendors inside the capital cities. You'll get a variety of different sweets, which will give you little buffs. If you take the cinnamon buff, it makes a little heated fire thing fly around your head. So some nice little touches from those things. As I said, if you look at the achievements, you can see that you get different achievements for collecting the tricky treats around different areas. So for instance, Tricks and Treats of Northrend, if you pick up all the candy buckets in all of these locations, you'll get that particular achievement. There's also Outland, Kalimdor, Eastern Kingdoms, so you go around and do all of those. For doing the Matron's Fire quest, as I said, you can get weighted jack-o'-lanterns. Those you can use to do the Check Your Head achievement. Use the weighted jack-o'-lanterns, which you can get from doing this quest here as in Brill, or in Caranus, or Elwyn Forest, or Durotar. You throw one of the jack-o'-lanterns on each of the racers in game, and then you'll get the achievement to Check Your Head. The first time you open one of the candy buckets, you get an achievement as well for doing that. Here we go. Trick or Treat. Receive a handful of treats from one of the candy buckets located in an inn. You get that achievement just for picking up the very first one. From those Trick or Treat bags from the candy buckets, you can also have a chance to loot items, such as masks, for the A Mask for All Occasions achievement. The masks, as I said, can come randomly from the candy buckets inside the inns, and if you don't finish all of them, don't worry, because you can use the Tricky Treat sweets in order to buy the ones that you're missing once you've finished collecting your candies. The achievement to bring me the head of Oh Wait, Kill the Headless Horseman, you can do by queuing for the Headless Horseman. Defeat the mad Headless Horseman before he burns every last settlement in Azeroth. So if you queue for that, I think you can do that from about level 25. So if you queue, kill the Headless Horseman, that will give you that achievement, and it will also give you once a day a loot-filled pumpkin. The loot-filled pumpkin is very notable because it can drop you both a battle pet and the Headless Horseman's Mount. The mount is quite desirable. This is the mount from the loot-filled pumpkin in Hallow's End, the Headless Horseman's Mount. Let me show you that. Here he is, and he's a flying mount. Isn't he lovely? Let's go back to the vendors to see all the things that you can purchase with your treat tokens from your candy bags. The toy vendor can sell you a variety of costumes. It can also sell you the sweets that give you the little effects, like the cinnamon ball that I showed you, this one. You can buy more of those if you like. He sells you the toothpick, which you also use to give your teeth a sparkling shine. There's also an achievement for using that, but you can get that from the candy bucket, so hopefully you'll have done that before you get to the end of your search for candy buckets. There are 4 toys: the Little Wickerman, the Horsehead costume, and the Horsetail costume. Don't forget to get together with your friends to do the horse costume as a little show and tell or a pantomime, or just for a little bit of fun. The new toy for this year, 2018, is the Headless Horseman's Hearthstone. You can use that in place of your normal Hearthstone, and it will give you an effect while you are Hearthstoning. You can buy the wands for the costume achievement from here, but you can also get those from the candy buckets, so I'd wait until you finish collecting candies before you buy the ones that you're missing. Don't forget, you can't put these on yourself, so you need to group up with some friends and trade costumes in order for each of you to get the costume achievement. There's also a pet vendor. You can buy the Sinister Squashling, which you can also get from the bag from the Killing the Headless Horseman once a day. You used to be able to also get that from the candy buckets, but I haven't seen that drop recently, so I don't know if that's been changed. The Feline Familiar, Widget the Departed, Cursed Burnham, and Naxi. There is no new pet, for 2018. So let me show you some of those items. Let's look at the pets first. So, Hallow's End. Naxi is an undead pet that looks like Naxxramas. It's just a miniature version of Naxxramas floating around for you. I just love all the goo coming out of his mouth. His moveset is Plague Breath, Sticky Web, Leech Life, Death Coil, Frost Nova, and Drain Blood. The Creepy Crate, again, is an undead. His moveset is Creepy Chomp, Death Grip, Devour, Agony, Curse of Doom, and Bone Storm. Cursed Burnham is a little cute ghostly cat. His moveset is Pounce, Cool Darkness, Devour, Spirit Claws, Spirit Spikes, and Prowl. The feline familiar is a beast pet, and he's wearing a little witch's hat, so he's definitely a little feline familiar. His moveset is Onyx Bite, Stone Skin, Devour, Pounce, Call Darkness and Prowl. And the Sinister Squashling is an elemental, and his moveset is Burn, Thorns, Plant, Poison Lash, Stun Seed and Leech Seed, and I think that is all of the pets. So let's take a look at the toys. For Hallow's End, you have the horse's tail costume, the horse's head costume, the little Wickerman. Where's he got? There he is, on fire, look. Let me remove the costumes so that you can see. I need to move, I think, here. There's too many people, you're not going to be able to see it. Let's use the Headless Horseman's Hearthstone so you can see the effect. This is the new one for 2018, and I think it's a very interesting effect if you watch it. It gives your Hearthstone a little bit of fuzz. Is that a good word? Fuzz. If you're an Alliance player, if you come outside of the entrance to Stormwind, this is where you will find the Hallow's End Festival for the Alliance. The Wicker Man will be burning there, and the vendors and the quest givers are all just here near these little arbours. There is actually even apple bobbing. If you find these vats with the apples in, you can bob for apples, and you can get 5 apples, so there you have a 3% health restoration if you eat your bobbing apples. It's just a nice little touch. And here are the vendors: the pet vendor, the wand vendor, the mask vendor and the toy vendor. The quests that are available are, I think, fairly much the same as for the Horde. I think the quests mostly mirror each other. Hallow's End treats for Jesper. I'm not allowed to go trick-or-treating after Deathwing's attack. I'm lucky Matron Nightingale lets me come this far away. If you trick-or-treat for me, I'll trade you the candy you get for some I already have. Each of the innkeepers in the big cities have candy they give for Hallow's End. Talk to them and do the tricks they ask. Also, a little gnome named Talvash in Ironforge is handing out candy as well. When you have all the candy, can you bring them back to me here? Speak with the innkeepers of Stormwind, Ironforge and Darnassus, as well as Talvash Del Kizzle in Ironforge. Perform the tricks they ask of you in exchange for the treats they offer. Return to Jesper in front of Stormwind with a Darnassian marzipan, Gnomeregan gumdrop, Stormwind nugget and Ironforge mint, and he will give you 10 tricky treats. That's a non-repeatable quest, but it's an extra way to get an extra 10 tricky treats if you need them for buying your items from the vendors. When you go to each of the people, they will ask you to do an action. So let's go and look at the one in Stormwind to give you an idea. They're all marked quite clearly on the map, so it's easy to find them in the cities. The Stormwind one is in the inn right next to the auction house here. And while you're there, don't forget to grab your candy bucket. And the first time you do that on a character, you will get the achievement Trick or Treat, just like that. Open your box and see what you get. Here we go, the mask task. I've got my first mask, so if I click that, it will put the mask onto my character, and note that you still get to keep the mask, so if you want to keep using it during Hallow's End, you can keep using it. And as I said earlier, there is an achievement for collecting each and every one of the masks, as well as the achievement for collecting the very first one.
You need something?
Let's talk to the innkeeper and see what she wants us to do. Flexing for Nugget. That's an interesting costume you have on. Even though you're being nice and helping a child trick or treat this year, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to perform a trick for me. Let's see, you look so strong and buff in that costume. Let's see you flex. Yes, go on now and flex for me, strong man. When and only when you flex, I'll give you some tasty Stormwind nugget. It's a great Hallow's End treat. Do the flex emote, and Alison will give you the nugget.
Be careful.
So if you target the innkeeper and then do the emote that they ask you to do, in her case flex, then she'll give us the quest. Now you do the same thing by going to the other innkeepers in the other cities and doing the emote that they ask you to do for them. Don't forget to turn in the quest in order to get the progress on the quest for Jasper. Now each of the people will ask you to do a different one. I believe one of them asks you to do a train, and I can't remember what the other two ask you to do, but you just do whatever they ask you to do and it's all done. If you speak to one of the commoners inside the capital cities, they will give you different quests. Costumed Orphan Matron is the one that sends you to go to the little town in order to start the Headless Horseman fire quests. So for the Alliance, the locations you can go are Goldshark, Caranus or Azure Watch. And the second quest is a season for celebration. That asks you to go and speak to the festival people, in this case outside Stormwind. If you do that on the Horde, of course they'll ask you to go to Undercity. So those are the breadcrumb quests that send you to the people outside of the capital cities. So let's go and see what other quests there are available for us. Celestine. Time to gain. Greetings, Demon Hunter. The Wickerman you see before you symbolises self. The flames that burn it are a cleansing fire. Tradition states that we take our burdens and give them to the fires. We let go of our burdens as we approach the winter season, and we gain clarity and peace. Join us in our tradition, Demon Hunter. Take a branch from the nearby bonfire and hurl it at the Wickerman. Use the bonfire in front of the Wickerman and you will receive one tricky treat.
Watch your back.
Okay, let's do that. Let's jump off our mount. Let's grab and then we throw it at the Wickerman to keep the Wickerman on fire. And then we just turn straight back round and turn that into us. So that's a very quick and easy way to get a tricky treat.
Keep your chin up, eh? Any friend of Greymane is a friend of mine.
Time to lose. Well met, Demon Hunter. As we attempt to embrace the Wickerman ceremony, it is no surprise that the Horde would attempt to ruin our celebration. Now the prudent course of action may be to rise above the conflict and simply ignore the attacks. I admire those that take that high road, but I cannot help them. But for those that seek to strike back, I can help them. If you're interested, take the dowsing agent and use it on the Horde's Wickerman in the ruins of Lordaeron. Use the dowsing agent on the Wickerman in the ruins of Lordaeron and you'll get 3 tricky treats. So if you accept her quest, she'll give you the dowsing agent and you trek your way up to Lordaeron, nip inside Lordaeron and throw the dowsing agent on the Wickerman and run out and run back and you can get 3 tricky treats. And that is a daily that you can do every day. And the final quest that is right here for us, in fact we have 3 quests here. A friend in need, visit Anson Hastings at the Gilded Rose in Stormwind's Trade District. You know, I haven't seen Anson out here yet. Lately he's been spending all his time drinking himself into a stupor at the Gilded Rose. Something must really be bothering him. Would you mind checking up on him? I suppose we could take a look at that, but what other things would you like us to do? Stink bombs away. Greetings, Demon Hunter. I hope Hallow's End is treating you well. Bah, enough of the small talk. Let's get down to business. Undercity. They have employed hags and foul magic to launch petty attacks against our town. Some may say, ignore the childish horde. I say, let's show 'em. Speak to my sister Gertrude and she will send you on your way to toss some stink bombs in Undercity. Speak to Gertrude Fenlow to gain access to a broom and drop stink bombs in the Undercity. Oh, and while you're at it, can you clean up Stormwind? Are you enjoying Hallow's End? It seems that in response to our stink bombing of the Undercity, the Horde has decided to stink bomb our city. The stink bombs they drop are more potent than the ones used in the past. The power of pine won't be enough. We'll need something with a little bit more power. Can you use this arcane cleanser to remove the stink bombs from the city? Use the arcane cleanser to remove stink bombs around Stormwind. So as I said, the quests do tend to mirror each other. So if you go to Lordaeron, they will send you on a stink bombing drop run onto Stormwind and a clean up of their city too. So whichever city you're in, you do a bombing run and a clean up run. So let's talk to Gertrude and have a look at what this bombing run looks like. So she puts us on a flying broom. She's going to fly us there so that we can bomb while she flies. So we don't have to steer as well, we just have to drop the bombs. So toss a stink bomb. Toss a stink bomb at the end. Toss a stink bomb at the enemy capital city. Boo-hoo! Ooh! Pew! So you use your wand and you just throw the bombs on the city, and we need to drop a total of 25 bombs. And we just need one more. And she brings us down far enough. There we go. And that is the last one. Can we return home, please, Gertrude? We need to clean up Stormwind now. And as I said, the Horde have the opposite set of quests. They bomb Stormwind and clean up the Undercity. So let's turn in that quest from the bombing run. And we get 2 tricky treats. And that again is a repeatable daily. Now they want us to clean up Stormwind. So what we want to do is look for the stink bombs. So this is the stink bomb. If we grab our arcane cleanser and put it on top of the stink bomb, and that will clean it up. And we need to do that 10 times in order to complete that quest. There's the second one. And if you walk through the stink bombs, you get a cloud following you of the stinkiness. So here we are, we're going to turn in the quest to Gretchen.
Good day to you.
Ah, much better, Fergus. Those crones in the Undercity have no idea how powerful we've become. Now, I suppose you'd like a reward. Let me give you 3 tricky treats.
See you later.
Now, the quest for Anson, to go and check up on him and follow his quest chain, that's a one-time non-repeatable quest, and I'm not going to do the rest of it on camera because I don't want to spoil the fun of doing the quest for you if you've not done it yourself. Hope that you've found today's episode useful. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!